What if I told you that by taking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you could increase your life expectancy by more than 3 years, as well as improve your happiness, mental sharpness, and overall well-being? Would you take my offer? Did I forget to mention that you could also decrease your risk of cancer and cardiovascular illness by up to 50%? Now I know what you're thinking. What I'm talking about is probably a miracle cure, but I'm not. What I'm talking about is the simple act of putting one step in front of the other at a moderate pace, or what most people would call running. I myself have put a lot of time and effort into this activity, with more than 5 years of competitive distance running behind me, as well as read a handful of books and hundreds of articles on this topic. Running has, and I hope always will be, a large and important part in my life. That being said, running has a surprisingly short history filled with the concerns and benefits created by the running community. Now, what I'm going to talk with you today is about some of running's history, what the running community is, and some of the pros and cons of running. So, let's start with a short history lesson. Louis Liebenberg of Current Anthropology wrote that 2.4 million years ago, people started eating a considerably more amount of protein. But only 400,000 years ago did people start using tools to hunt animals. So what does Liebenberg, as well as many other anthropologists and theorists, think happened during that time? The answer is persistence hunting, in which people would chase animals over a large distance until the animal was raced to a point of exhaustion. That is how we got our food. Now that we don't get our food that way, running has taken itself out of the spotlight until the 1970s, when Steve Prefontaine and many other running icons started making running popular again, which is called the running boom of the 1970s. After then, Running USA has counted the amount of distance race finishers that of each year, and in 1990 there was a little under 5 million distance finishers, while in 2 years ago, in 2014, there were over 18.5 million. Now, with over the ages, with so many different uses, and especially the implications of today, it is only fair to assume that many people consider themselves runners. These people who share ideas, stories, resources, feelings, and identities, or running identity, are what be considered the running community. So you may be wondering who could be considered a runner, and the short answer is that since you're human, as I have stated in the history lesson, since you're human, you are a runner. And while we may not all grow up to be a world-class marathoner, we are all human, so we all can run. Now, the running community provides resources for beginners, intermediate, and advanced runners. And today there are thousands of running groups alone in the U.S., as well as hundreds more of blogs, websites, and other resources to teach people how to protect themselves from the occasional bear, to find the right shoe that fits you. Now, with so many new people on the roads and trails, it can also only be fair that there are a lot of issues and benefits revolving around running. And so, to start that off, licensed orthopedic rehab specialist Bruce R. Wilk wrote in Running and Fit News that he has seen many people crippled on running injuries, while the main purpose of his article was to define that there are always ways to prevent running injuries. Thus, you can have a running-filled life without any injuries if you become knowledgeable on the topic. Runner's World also helped to define this by showing multiple studies that have followed runners for more than 30 years to show that knees and other joints are actually improved, and health, fitness, life expectancy, and other health benefits are very evident. So, and another unexpected benefit that I have witnessed myself is running identity, where people can come together as runners, and when you are confused about how to present yourself, it's an easy way to show who you are. So, those are just a few things about the vast topic of running. As we have seen, running's history is both short and long in popularity, and there's a large running community full of resources and there are thousands of people joining every day with people who join the running community to figure out for themselves the pros and cons. Now I'm going to leave you with a small idea. Whether your run is a walk through the park for 10 minutes or an hour-long sprint through the pouring rain, the only way to finish is to start.